Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Detroit Sports Sit Down. My name is Tom Murphy Jr. I have Joe Perry and Dan Murphy here with me, and this is the Lions edition of our podcast. And we are, what are we? Are we happy? Lions lose 20-7 at Minnesota. The defense, didn't look terrible. The offense looked like they had a third-string quarterback.
A running back that picked up off the street
off the street, an offensive line that's okay but not great. I don't know, but kind of what we want right now is L's, right? Like L's or W's right now. If you're a Lions fan,
yeah, when it comes down to it,
I know we had a major breakdown about this last week, and here we are. 3-9-1. 9-7 ain't good enough. I'm sorry, 9-7 is not good enough. Right? 9-7 is not good enough. 3-9-1. It's low. So that means that's really not good enough. I mean, I don't know. But and then here we are, rooting for losses, but
you're rooting for losses, but you're still looking for. You're watching individuals.
Yeah.
See how
individuals so it's kind of like preseason now.
It is. They're preseason games. That's exactly what they are.
Hey, man.
You hope they lose.
All right. For real, I guess. I mean, all right. That's the intro. There you have it. A frustrated Lions fan, not even sure what even to do on Sunday at 12. When I'm sitting there at 12:55 on a Sunday, I got those pregame jitters. It's football Sunday. It's Minnesota. We hate Minnesota. You want to go beat Minnesota just because it's Minnesota. You want to win your division games. Do you now when you're going into the game and you're 3-8-1, everything's lost, everything's a debacle. It's reality has set in again, and us Lions fans, we're sitting there with that decision to make in our head. Okay. You already made the decision to sit down and watch this stupid game. All right, so you're already pot committed now, right? And you got to make a decision to am I going to root for my team to win, or am I going to root for my team to have some guys perform well so something looks good for the future, but also lose the game? And I think, for me, I was there. And Dan, I kind of argued with you a bit last week because when I sit down to watch the Lions on an individual basis in an individual game, it's just in me to want them to win because you just naturally want your team to win. But once the outcome comes out, I guess I'm glad that they lost because it's better for the franchise as a whole.
To me, right? That's good nap time. No, I'm serious. I definitely fell asleep during this game. I mean, it was so boring. Lions couldn't do anything. I actually did fall asleep this game. I woke up in the third quarter, so I got to see the end.
And the Lions still hadn't scored yet.
Yeah, exactly. It still didn't score, so I didn't even miss anything. But I got a good nap. So, I mean, what else is there to say about this team? We pretty much said it the last 2 weeks. We should just replay the show because it's the same old thing. We're pathetic, and Patricia needs to go. Everybody needs to go. At this point,
you really can't even rate their performance because you look at what their quarterback-running back combo is at this point. It's Bloughs and Scarborough. Neither of them were even on the roster when the season started.
Yeah, but how much of an indictment is that on? Well, maybe not Patricia, but Bob Quinn for sure. It's like when you're looking at this roster. Oh God! Did you guys notice that Quandre Diggs had 2 interceptions last week or last game?
Yeah,
I mean, so Kyle Van Noy continues to perform for New England. I know they lost this week, but okay, man, you could say there's injuries all around, but it's an indictment on the roster, right? Like,
well,
I'm just saying, look at the Steelers, for example. The Steelers are going down.
We talked about this. The Steelers are like the complete opposite of what the Lions are. The Steelers are hard to rate against that. They're just an incredible organization.
It's amazing.
Whatever they do, they have success.
Coaches
it doesn't
in 50
matter.
Years.
So
big difference.
How much of a pass should Patricia and Quinn get when the NFL is all about next man up?
I agree, but this is beyond. I mean, their whole team revolved around Stafford. We talked about that. Yeah. Once Stafford was out, there was no chance. But you rate this team, you can rate the performance of Patricia specifically. You can rate Quinn separately. But you look at Patricia, you got to rate him on when Stafford was playing. And when Stafford was playing, they had the worst defense in the league. And that's what I look at. That Patricia was brought in here as a defensive guru. They thought the offense would continue to do well with Stafford, which they did. They brought in a new offensive coordinator, Darrell Bevell, who's been good. He's done a great job with this offense, and the offense was doing well with Stafford. But the problem was the defense, and that's supposed to be Patricia's, point. That's what he is. He's supposed to be a defensive genius. So that's where everything falls. So when I say you can't rate the team based on what they are right now, I'm looking at more Patricia. Like I don't really count these games. I'm not worried about these. I'm worried about the games when Stafford was playing. Yeah. When Stafford was playing, he was still should have been fired based on what they accomplished and what they didn't accomplish, and that was being the worst defense.
But we almost beat the Chiefs, Dan.
We almost beat the Chiefs, and we got screwed by the refs against the Packers. You give us those two games.
Come on, Dan.
And we're 5. What would we be? 7-1. And if we were in the NFC East,
we'd still be in the hunt.
We'd be in the race. So, yeah,
but it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, forward down the field. we almost beat a couple teams.
You know what's funny though? Like I was saying, when you said the record at the beginning. What 3-8-1 is that what they're
3-9-1.
3-9-1.
Remember, we played a game last week. A lot of people don't remember. We played.
I remember after week 1,
now.
and I continued to say it. When these games actually mattered. It's like, man, that tie is going to really come back to screw them. I'm telling you guys, that tie is going to come back to screw them. Well, it is going to come back to screw them because they might not get as high of a draft pick now because of that tie.
Oh man, little did we know, but we should have known.
Yeah.
So this game though, this game specifically, is there anything to pick out, pinpoint? The one thing, Joe, you kind of brought this up pre-show because there is like one bright spot here that kind of continues to shine, and it's Kenny Golladay.
Yeah, Kenny Golladay he's a star. He's turned into a star in the league. I said this year that he'd probably be a top 10. I was kind of throwing a dart, and at least in fantasy in my league, he's number 4 in fantasy points and wide receivers in my league. So he's up there, probably at least in top 10 in wide receivers. So that's the one bright spot I think with the Lions. What do you guys see any other?
I don't. David Bloughs. Does he strike you guys at all? Does he have any future here?
Is there Golladay kind of saved him a lot of those throws. Yeah. Those aren't NFL throws. I was just watching him, watching his different throws. There's not enough on those throws. There's not enough on those passes. Yeah. They're not NFL caliber.
He's just not. Yeah, he's just a guy.
And it's funny how people fall in love, like, oh, he had that touchdown on the first play.
Yeah.
Like, defenses figure out what your strengths and weaknesses are, and they game plan against it.
Yeah.
And you're seeing that now. You saw it with Driscoll, too. He had the first game or two, he was like, this guy ain't bad. And then it started to, fall apart.
Bo Scarborough, 19 carries, 65 yards. He was a dude at Bama, But that's Bama, But he was, man, and he bounced around practice squads for a while until he got a shot here with Detroit, and he's looking like somebody that, hey, maybe Zach Zenner type. Is this what we're looking at? Like a guy who I bet he's going to tear up the preseason next year. Scarborough will.
I feel like he's a guy that's going to get hurt a lot because of how he runs. He's a hard physical runner, and he likes contact. So
yeah,
I just feel like he's going to be a guy that's going to get hurt a lot. That's not going to be
probably
the answer.
Not, yeah.
But he looks good running the ball.
Is there a spark here at all with Bo Scarborough, or are we going to find a diamond?
He could be a
in
short.
the
it's not a
short yardage
rough. It's
back or something.
It's a second or third running back.
Just a guy.
Just a guy.
Now, I guess one thing that disappoints me. I know he's just a rookie. Fourth round rookie at that, but I really expected more out of Ty Johnson, especially with. I feel like they kind of let go of Riddick because they thought Ty Johnson could kind of take over that role. And with all the availability of carries for running backs on the lines right now, Ty Johnson is just not using this opportunity right now. And I really kind of thought more out of that. Am I wrong to expect more out of a fourth round pick? Or
no, I think it's more kind of hope. We both saw it in the preseason. We thought, this might be a guy here, and then he's had the opportunities and he just hasn't taken advantage of it, and it's unfortunate.
But he is a rookie too.
He is.
It's a longer season, and sometimes they're just not used to it.
He is, but. He might not get this opportunity again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When those opportunities come along like this, you got to seize them. You got to. You got to take it. And he hasn't, unfortunately.
But yeah, I would agree with you. I'm a little disappointed because Riddick has been a key part of our offense in the last few years.
Oh, absolutely. Catching out of the backfield.
So, he has been
like
a little disappointing. I thought he would take a little better role.
Yeah. All right, so who else, man? All right, so another big story went down today. Marvin Jones, injury on the IR. Not really a big deal, other than the fact that what does this mean for Matt Stafford? Is it like with your second receiver, your number 2 receiver going down, the season's lost, the offense is not getting any better. Is there any reason to bring Stafford back? And does Marvin Jones going on IR kind of solidify the fact that Matt Stafford should stay out the rest of the season? Or does Marvin Jones getting hurt, does that not even factor into the decision of bringing Stafford back? Is that just a little caveat of because why bring Stafford back into meaningless games when the offense just guys just keep going down? There's nothing to play for now. Why would you put Stafford in and you take out one of his weapons now for the season? What's the point of letting him play if he gets cleared? I don't see it. I don't see a point.
Yeah, I don't think it should impact their decision, but he should already be on IR. He shouldn't be playing, especially with the same injury year after year, back-to-back years. There's nothing. You're 3-9-1, and you have nothing to play for. So, I mean, that shouldn't impact it all. He needs to be on there. If they play him, I'm going to be pissed. They definitely need to fire those two. I don't think they are though. Because I really don't. I don't think they're going to fire him.
I know Stafford. He's just he's a gamer. He's going to want to play, but it shouldn't be his decision. And if it's Stafford making his decision for himself, he's going to play. But if it's the coaches and the front office saying, we're still playing for pride and every week is a 1-game season, and we're trying to be 1-0 this week, and that's just such garbage talk. I don't want to hear that stuff. There's no reason for Stafford to risk injury when you got so much invested in him already. And the fact that that's just another weapon going down. What are your chances of winning these next few games? And all you're going to do is ruin your draft stock. What's the point?
Yeah.
Now,
I don't think they'll play him.
And another guy.
Not that stupid.
Yeah. And even going past Stafford is Kerryon Johnson. Kerryon Johnson has been taken off IR, and he wants to play. Okay, what the hell is the point of letting him play when he's coming off an injury? Running backs are so short-lived as it is. He came into the league banged up. Why the hell would you play him?
Yeah, that would be stupid too. I mean, he's gone out the last 2 years with injuries. What's your thoughts, Dan?
Yeah, I my opinion is anybody that's got injuries should be on the IR. Anybody that's got any injuries at all should not be playing. Play a bunch of practice squad guys.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you have to lose?
Yeah, I mean, what you got to lose if you play all these guys and you win, you lose draft stock. And what have you actually won?
No, I mean,
nothing.
That's what it is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why play anybody that's beat up?
Yeah.
Why? There's no point.
So what do you? I guess the one thing I would say about that is, what do you tell the locker room, the guys that are suiting up, the guys that are going out there for battle, risking their bodies, risking their careers on every play, you know, and to go out and play meaningless football games because you're going to dress 53 people, 22 guys are going to start. What do you tell those guys when...
Here's your audition for next year. That's what you tell them. You say, here's your audition for next year, and let's see what you can do. Put it on tape. This is an NFL game. Here's your few games to put your tape out there, and we can hopefully you can make the team next year.
This is what you tell them. We care if Stafford gets hurt. We care if Kerryon gets hurt. We care if so and so gets hurt. T.J. Hawkinson. We care if he gets hurt.
They made the team already.
We don't care if you get hurt.
No, it's they made the
team. But isn't that the NFL?
But a lot of these guys are second and third team guys anyways. Yeah. Like they should be
chomping at the bit to get in there.
Absolutely, because they want to prove themselves. They want to be potential starters, going into next year, or they are guys that want to just make a team somewhere next year.
And you can find a diamond in the rough. That
a guy like Isaac Nada, who last week I think he got his first catch, 7th round pick. This guy's fighting for a job. I guarantee he can't wait to suit up next week and hopefully play.
Yeah.
And that's what these games should be used for. You should see what you got on your practice squad. Maybe these guys see what they can do in live action against teams that are, competing for things. See what they can do.
Yeah.
Because then when the games matter again next year, when you start up again next year at week 1, you at least have some idea of what these guys can do, and maybe they're players for you, and maybe they're not. Maybe they totally crap the bed, and you realize, okay, well, we're not going to bring this guy back next year. This is what you use this for. You don't use this to bring Stafford back or Kerryon. You know what you're getting from those guys.
Yeah.
Why play those guys? Why give those guys those reps in meaningless games when they're coming off injury?
Like I said, they made the team next year.
Yeah.
They're on the team.
So, all right. So, looking forward to this game this week. And have we talked enough about last week's snooze fest? I think we all knew. The only thing, the funniest thing about last week's game was that the Lions were 12.5 point underdogs. So, and they lost by 13, right? So not only did they just,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, 12.5. So they anybody who was like, you know what, I think the Lions, they can find a way to cover, and they lose by a half a point, and I just thought that was funny, man. They found a way to lose by half a point, if you're a betting man. But other than that, man, I mean, there's not much more. Whatever. This was just a game. You going to Minnesota? At least like Kirk Cousins didn't look like Joe Montana. We finally didn't make a quarterback look amazing.
I mean, I guess they
competed. They
competed and they lost. I guess that's what we're looking for.
Did they even really compete? The defense...
Yeah,
the defense competed a little... Usually it was the offense keeping them in and the defense just looking terrible. The defense actually didn't look that bad. Trey Flowers, he had a couple sacks, didn't he? Like, bringing those numbers up a little bit. I think he's getting like $1 million a sack right now this season. Probably more than that, actually.
Yeah, 1 sack. 1 tackle for a loss.
Okay.
And 1 QB hit.
All right, well... So, but I mean, the defense kind of held their own. The offense was just overwhelmed. It was obvious. We all kind of knew that going in, So, what that was, it was just another loss.
Like you said, snooze fest. That was
a snooze fest loss.
Perfect name.
Nothing. Thank God I have Red Zone at home because I was able to watch some real football.
Let's get into that. Let's get into some real football.
Well, yeah. Let's get. But the one thing I want to ask first before we start talking about I want to talk about kind of do it like an around the league thing. But the first thing before we do that, I want to ask you guys about next week's game. Okay, it's the second to last home game. The Lions are completely out of it. It's Tampa Bay, so Tampa Bay fans, they're not traveling. 15 or 20 of them might. But I mean, it's not like Tampa Bay is going to come take over Ford Field. If you had season tickets, would you sell the tickets this week? If you had bought tickets for just this one game,
could you sell the tickets this week?
Would you sell the tickets?
That's a better question.
Would you go to this game? And would you go to this game if you hadn't been to a game all season and you just wanted to get to a football game?
I would have someone gave me the tickets and I didn't have anything going on. I would go for free. Still does cost money, obviously, to park and to drive down there. You got to get a beer or two. Yeah. So it does still cost money. For free, I haven't been to a game this year, so I might, but just to go to an NFL game because I haven't been to one.
Because it's still, you still get the atmosphere. It's still exciting. But man,
that's if I had nothing to do. Which
this one you got two, but it's tough though. It's a tough call because there's two teams that are not playing for nothing important, and the stadium's probably gonna be half filled with lackluster fans. And
I'd probably stay half the game, though.
There's a good chance that Tampa Bay just starts throwing. They're probably going to throw 50 passes.
Yeah. This could get ugly.
It really could. And Tampa Bay. And then, so you get to watch your team get smoked by a team that's not good, Jameis Winston, he's probably going to throw 6 touchdowns and 4 picks, That is my prediction for the game, by the way. Jameis Winston throws 6 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. But I don't know, Dan. I know we're going to talk later about what you're actually doing, but given the opportunity, would you even go to this game?
Well, if I was a season ticket holder, I would give the tickets away. I wouldn't even bother trying to sell them because you're not going to get much for them anyways.
Here's your early Christmas present.
Yeah, I would just give them. I would give them to somebody who has kids or something.
Someone you really don't like.
You say I don't like kids.
No, I'm just saying.
I would just give them away. I would give them away to somebody who want them. Hey, here's an early Christmas present, whatever. But yeah, it's just a totally unimportant game for both teams. You're not even going to see. I mean, I guess you can go see Galladay, but other than that, Stafford's not playing. Obviously, hopefully, Kerryon Johnson's not playing. So, I mean, there's not a whole lot to see. Unless you had absolutely nothing going on, you got the tickets for free, and they were really, really good seats. Dude, maybe, but even that, it's just like I don't.
You're gonna stay after the game. You're gonna go out to dinner or something. You're not gonna stay a whole game. If you go, you're gonna go for a little bit and leave.
Man.
I would rather just be at home watching.
Sit at home watch other football games.
I'd just rather watch games that matter.
Well, you just said it free.
It'd be different if Tampa Bay was going for a playoff spot, because then it's like at least a game that has meaning. The game has absolutely no meaning. Neither team is competing for a playoff spot. So
now, is there? Would you go? Could you possibly go to a game and physically root for the Lions to lose because that's what you want to better the franchise?
No.
You couldn't go there and root for Tampa Bay, could you?
I wouldn't root for anybody. I just kind of,
Because it reminds... This doesn't remind me of the Orange Out, because that was real. When Lions fans came together and openly, collectively rooted for the other team.
It was the Bengals.
The Bengals, yeah, the Orange Out. This isn't that, because it's not like that. There's so much apathy around the line. At least the Detroit Lions fans collectively came together as a revolt. Man, but that's not.
And what did that do? We're still in the same boat.
Yeah, but that was a revolt against Millen.
Yeah.
And the ridiculousness of it that he was still the GM. I mean, there was something there.
And we're not there. We're not there yet.
We're only, into the second year of at least Patricia's regime. I mean, Quinn, what is this, fourth year?
Yeah.
I just don't think there's a collective anger right now. It's I don't know what it is right now. It does feel like more apathy than anything else. It's like, cause I just feel like everybody thought if it's going to change, it's going to be this group. It's going to be the Patriot way. It's going to be guys that were high up in that organization. It's they're going to change the culture, and it's just the same. It's just the same.
It's worse, man.
No, it's the same stuff. It's the same old lines.
Same old lines. Yeah, we're never going to be winners, man, but we're just going to keep rooting for this team. And now I think a lot of people, it's like set in, like it's like it's almost like the 5 stages of grief. And, like, we're past the anger now. Like, it's anger. And now I think we're just used to it. We're in acceptance now, right? Like, I don't know the order of the 5 stages of grief right offhand, but I know anger comes before acceptance. and so I think we're, like, just in acceptance mode now where... I mean, there's anger, but there's not a lot of... The anger is not near the level of where it was.
It's like, why be mad? What's it gonna do?
Yeah. We tried anger before, and it didn't work.
No.
So, now we're just... But it is, so I mean, I don't know, like, I wouldn't go. I mean, I'm not actively trying to buy tickets this week. I did offer my buddy, he's got season tickets, and I told him, I'm like, man, if you give me $20, I'll take those tickets off your hand. he didn't take the bait, but I was like, yeah, I'll give you $20, man, and I'll take this problem off your hands. But it's that old joke too, man. Hey, I got my car window. I had tickets to the Lions game on my dashboard, and my window got bashed in, and they left 4 more. That always makes me laugh, but I don't know, man. It is what it is. Yeah. But look, man. So that's where we're at. The Lions played a boring game last week. They're going to play a boring game this week. Let's hope they don't play anybody important and nobody gets really hurt, and hopefully they lose so we can get that draft stock going up. And that's we're not even going to predict this game. Let's just hope they hope they lose.
We all are picking them to lose.
We're just all hoping they lose.
By a lot.
I hope Jameis Winston eats that W. Oh, God. Let's talk about some real football, though, for a minute, man. All right. Real quick, man. The NFL is hot right now, man. It is hot, man, because there is some real exciting stuff going on. If you're, like, an NFL football fan, the Patriots are not the best team. Are you guys excited about this? Do you guys like the fact that Kansas City and Baltimore both beat them? Are you guys enjoying seeing the decline of the Patriots right now? I think that's a hot topic in the NFL.
Definitely are. They need some playmakers. Brady is starting to show his age, I think, a little bit.
Oh, at 42?
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Could Brady be declining at 42?
But I think if they had a few more playmakers, and they tried with Josh Gordon, and with releasing him, they tried with
Antonio Brown.
Man,
they did.
If he somehow could have panned out,
oh yeah,
oof.
things could be a lot different for them. They really could be.
Yeah, for sure. If they had him. And then they traded for Sanu, right?
Sanu? I thought Sanu would have more of an impact.
They have a complex system, though, so I think it is hard to just go there and learn it quick. I mean, I guess wide receiver you can go, hey, running out or whatever. But still, I think their system's complex. So it is good to finally see them on their downfall. Their defense isn't as good as they were at the beginning of the season, but they did not have as good at games. They weren't playing as good teams early in the year. So
are we as NFL fans, are we collectively rooting for the Patriots to not be in the Super Bowl?
I am for sure.
I'm saying, like, just as a whole.
Oh, okay.
Do you think we all are? Is everybody tired?
I'm not rooting for their demise. I mean, I'd love to see Brady find it again and then to find it again. I don't want to see them in the Super Bowl. I'd like to see them get beat, but I don't want to see them just completely collapse and it just completely just end, in horrible fashion for them. I don't. You can bring up the cheating and all that stuff. I just don't want to see. I just don't want to see that.
Another scandal drops today where they're some more videotape. Belichick says he has no idea.
But didn't they say it was Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Do you really have to tape Cincinnati's sideline?
God, I don't know. Like, really? I don't even know when.
They look for every advantage.
It's Cincinnati.
Every
the Bengals.
It doesn't matter. Every advantage they can find, they're gonna get. They're gonna take it. They're going to take it.
I'm just crazy that it was the Bengals. I thought they could probably...
no, they're probably doing it to everybody every week. It's just the Bengals found something.
That's the one they got caught.
I didn't even catch this one completely. I just saw like a headline, I was like, oh, God, here we go again. Yeah. It's just some more Spygate stuff. Mm-hmm. Do you guys even know, what... When did they even play the Bengals? I don't even remember when they played the Bengals.
I'll pull up the schedule.
Yeah. All right.
I think it was early in the year.
Yeah, why you're pulling that up? I mean, God, does even...
Well, I think they play the Bengals coming up. So they weren't playing the Bengals when it was filmed. It was filmed the most recent Bengals game. So the Patriots are playing the Bengals coming up this week, but there was scouts there filming.
They had scouts filming the Bengals sideline. What?
Oh, they did? Oh, no.
To get ready for this week.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for this week. Yeah, see, I didn't read much about the story either.
Yeah.
Because they are playing the Bengals this week. You're right.
That's what... Okay. Well, that makes more sense. So, I don't know. We don't even got to get...
You got to get more...
That's just...
More from the story.
I should have... Yeah, that's why you can't just look at headlines, man. You got to get more into it. But it is... it goes into it, though, because, obviously there's a history there, but I don't think anything's going to diminish anything. Unless you get unless a story breaks about NFL refs openly taking bribes to help the cheat, or to help the Patriots. Are you gonna? Nothing's ever gonna be. There's already enough evidence that there should be some anger towards the Patriots, and they're shady, but you also know they're great. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna take away 6 Super Bowl. But you are going to know, man, these guys will do whatever it takes to win. And some of the stuff's outside the lines, man. Why aren't the Lions doing it, though, man? How come the Lions aren't filming
that, too, is
that
they're also doing every single possible thing within the lines. Yeah. They're also doing a little bit outside the lines. Yeah. But they're also but it's my opinion that they do more within the lines than anybody else does.
What do you think it would take for... How much outside the lines, if they get caught, what would it really take for everything to just topple down and everything be discredited? And the NFL, as much as they do kind of want to screw the Patriots, it seems like sometimes. It seems like Goodell might have something for Robert Kraft or the Patriots altogether. But there's such a history there where if you take down the Patriots' history, you're taking down NFL history. So the NFL as a whole, I can't imagine they really want to go after the Patriots and really take them down, Because if you take down the Patriots, that's a whole era of NFL football that is discredited, to say the least. So I wonder how much they even try. But you keep seeing this stuff, though, man. These little things keep popping up. So I guess, and that's what makes it. So the Patriots are, man. So winning breeds hate, and cheating, breeds hate too. So there's a lot of reasons where there's a lot of. I think as an NFL fan base, I think most of the NFL fan base is waiting for the demise of the Patriots, and I hope it is just time and just the way things go, and it's not just a whole bunch of they've been cheating, and now we're gonna systematically take everything down
after
this year.
They quit.
This year,
comes all out.
But with that said, we're seeing these teams start to overtake. What I'm liking seeing is Baltimore. What do you guys think of Baltimore, man? Do you think that this team can hold up? I saw a stat today, man. They're averaging 200 yards rushing a game.
Yeah, that's
the thing. Insanity.
That's the thing.
And if they get home field, since 1977.
If they get home field advantage, which it's looking more and more like they're going to with the Patriots losing, they're going to be a tough team to beat, man. Because they're going to control the football. They're going to pound they're going to pound the ball. And you got Lamar Jackson.
They got a good
so
defense.
Hard to defend.
Yeah.
The only thing that can bring them down is if Jackson gets hurt. When you're running the ball with him that much, he can get hurt.
Now any player can get hurt.
Any player, but if you're running the quarterback like that, as much as they
but
do,
he's not just.
He doesn't take big hits though.
He doesn't, and he's not. When he decides to run the ball, he's a running back. He's not a quarterback running the ball.
I know. I agree.
It's amazing.
But he's still putting himself in danger.
A
lot more often than any other quarterback.
He can take a blindside hit while throwing a pass.
It's a lot like you guarantee that he's getting hit when he runs the ball. You're guaranteeing it.
Yeah.
Whereas a quarterback, they do so much to protect the quarterbacks within the pocket that it's rare that he gets hit, and if he does get hit, it's usually a penalty.
Yeah.
Whereas opposed, they're actually voluntarily letting him between the tackles.
What do you guys think is going to happen?
That's a potential for him to get hurt.
With the way the NFL is right now, with that helmet-to-helmet hits and protecting the quarterback, but also the way that running backs are not protected. When you have a hybrid quarterback like this, he gets compared a lot to Michael Vick, right? But Michael Vick was more of a slasher. Michael Vick wasn't a running back. He was more of a
scrambler. There weren't so much designed runs for him.
Lamar Jackson,
it's more of a college-style offense right now. But they're running.
Do you think there's? Is he when he turns himself into a running back? Defensive players have to have that extra instinct to know that he's not gonna slide. So what happens when it's a huge play in a huge game, and he turns into a running back, and a defensive back comes and tries to hit him, and he's not acting like he's going to slide, and then all of a sudden he slides, and all of a sudden he turns into a quarterback again. How are defensive backs and linebackers supposed to play against him specifically?
It's difficult, man.
It's difficult because especially NFL.
Yeah, with Lamar Jackson, it's difficult. With any quarterback like that, but Lamar Jackson's really the prime example because he's playing more like a college style quarterback where you're seeing a lot of these college offenses go with the speed option, and they're running it a lot. Like you've seen it like little here and there, but they're really truly running it. And if he's dropping back to throw the ball and he's scrambling and then running, defenses had to treat him like a running back. They have to. Yep. Like there's no other way to treat it. Like because in that situation he is a running back, and the referees have to know that. Like they have to treat it differently, because if he goes and slides, I mean I've seen him run where it's he's going for a first down and he's lowering his shoulder and running it through
head and shoulder, and he's a big dude.
So if he runs like that, if you're a defensive back or a linebacker and you're going to tackling him and you're meeting close to the first down marker, say it's third down, you can't treat him like a quarterback that's going to slide. You can't have that thought. You got to go in for a tackle like he's going to lower his shoulder. So you got to lower your shoulder and go in for that tackle.
And you got to protect yourself too, because this is a large man, strong, big, fast. You have to tackle this man, but you have to protect yourself too. So
if he goes in and slides, there's a potential that it might happen. This could happen in a playoff game. This could happen in a big time game where he goes and he's scrambling and he's running and he goes and slides and a linebacker goes to lower his shoulder. Yep. There's no way he can change his instinct that last split second to he's sliding. You don't have the time to do that.
No.
He's going to lower his shoulder and it's going to go shoulder to head.
And they're going to have to decide, was he a running back or was he a quarterback? And
he's 6'2", 212, but he's only 22.
God, 212? I thought he was bigger than that.
212.
Really?
6'2". I can't believe he's only 22 years old.
Yeah. Well, I think he played, I think he played 3 years. 3 years in college and then he went. Either way, man, it's good. He creates such unique situations that the NFL has to deal with it, man. Like
Oh yeah,
and we're gonna see. And I'm telling you, I guarantee that in these playoffs there will be a controversial moment where either he takes it helmet to helmet that should have been called, or he gets a penalty that should not have been called, and it's going to change the whole dynamic of a very, very huge game. Because the NFL just doesn't know how to deal with it right now. It's going to be very interesting, man. So, all right, with that said, all right, let's keep hitting on some of these NFL points, because it is really coming down to, oh man, there are some really good football teams right now.
Well, let's just stay. We're kind of sticking in the AFC. Let's stick with the AFC.
Okay.
So you look at circling back to the Patriots. They've lost, two couple games now. They lost to the Ravens a few weeks ago. They lost to Kansas City last week.
Yep.
Now you got the Bills coming up. They're gonna play each other. I think it's the last week of the season, actually, the Bills and Patriots. Is there any chance, do you think Buffalo can with the Patriots sliding, can Buffalo come in and take this division?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. The Bills just played the Ravens in a great football game. Now the Bills were at home, and they went toe-to-toe with the Ravens, and that looked like a solid football matchup. That looked like two really, really good football teams. And the Bills, man, like, they're young, they
only beat them 16-10.
Yeah, it was a slugfest, man. And you got a young quarterback who didn't make enough plays, and this is a team that has kind of been not good for a while. But this year, man, they've been playing good. And this is a Bills team that went into Dallas against a team that's loaded with talent in Dallas on Thanksgiving, marquee football game, and they got the job done. And
then they dominated that game.
And then they had back-to-back marquee football games, and they played very well in them. And what are the Bills now? 9-3, I think they are right now.
9-4.
9-4, yeah.
Is it 9-4? No, it's 12. Yeah, it'd be. Yeah.
Either way, man, they are a winning football team with a solid chance at winning this division now, especially with. Because to me, it looks like the Bills are trending up and the Patriots are trending down. You always got it, man. The Patriots are going to be the Patriots, man. But are they just not good enough now? And I think if Tom Brady is realizing, man, the talent on offense is just not there for them right now. And I don't think it's going to be going down the stretch.
Even the run game really isn't there.
It's just not that great.
Normal.
They're still a good football team, and they're still have the coaching and the quarterback, and you got skilled players that come up at times, but the wide receivers, they're just not there. It's not there. The defense is good, not great. The offensive line is good, not great. The running game's good, not great. The wide receiver game is bad. Like, they don't have the talent at wide receiver. They just don't. So they can't strike you. They can't win a shootout.
You see how frustrated Brady gets too. He's frustrated out there because he'll hit the guy right in the hands and he'll drop it.
Yeah,
I've seen it a couple.
He doesn't
times.
have those
well, they don't have anybody that can stretch
man.
the field.
Yeah.
That's the big problem.
Like Gronk, dude. I don't want to exhaust this, and I think it's already been exhausted. I think we know he's not, because if we would have came back, it would have been like week 12, right? Like, can Gronk even come back? Right?
No, he can't anymore.
He can't even come back, right?
Not this year. No.
Yeah, he doesn't have that guy that he knows that when it's 3rd and 10, he can just throw it down there and get 11, 12 yards.
What about the Chiefs? The Chiefs have a chance to beat Ravens, and you just saw them beat the Patriots.
think so. Yeah, the Chiefs. They look good now. They got their own problems too. Their defense is looking a lot better. The Chiefs aren't just a fully functional offense with a mediocre defense. The defense can step up and help win some games.
But the offense hasn't been there. So they just haven't had everybody together at one time.
Yeah,
it seems like
it's kind of
they can't get everybody together and get on the same page. It just seems like they're. They were such like an A+ offense last year. Like like a B- right now. Like they can't get over that hump and be
it's
what
kind
they
of
were.
like the book's out on them, like
a little bit, but I think it's more just they just haven't all been together. They can't put it all together right now.
Mahomes is beat up. He's beat up, and he's hurt. He's starting to feel the wrath of what it's like to be
all the running backs
NFL football player.
And then Tyreek Hill's only played half the games this year. So they've had to beat.
But they're still explosive, and they can still win big football. They just went into Foxborough and won the game.
Yeah. That's the thing. If they get it all together and get on the same page and be what they can be, play at their best. Yeah. If they play at their best, I think they're the best team. I think they're the best team in the AFC.
Yeah.
But are they going to get to that point? Are they going to be able to get?
I don't know. Them and the Ravens. I don't know.
The Ravens are firing on all cylinders right now. Like they're the best team in the AFC right now.
I get what you're saying.
But Kansas City, if Kansas City was firing on all cylinders and they're playing each other, I think I would take Kansas City.
Right now, Dayton, I want to go because you're about to go to a game this weekend, right?
I am going to Nashville and I'm going to see the Titans-Texans, which after last week the Texans lost, got smoked by the Broncos, surprisingly.
Unbelievable.
And then the Titans went out and blew out the Raiders. Went out to Oakland, blew out the Raiders, put up 42 points with Tannehill. And Tannehill, which is really interesting,
he is
coming in all of a sudden.
I
remember every year, everybody was talking about, this is the year Tannehill. Tannehill, top 10 quarterback.
Miami,
top 10 quarterback. He's going to be great.
I drafted him in 3 leagues one year. 3 leagues.
Everybody, because there's obviously people are saying that because he had a ton of potential. Right?
Yeah.
He never reached it in Miami, and now he comes in from a back position, takes over the starting position, gets that opportunity again, gets a second opportunity, and he's taking advantage of it unbelievably.
Taking advantage of an opportunity, man. Because that team is good. It hurts my heart for Mariota because I like Marcus Mariota. I think he's a good guy. I think he's a great quarterback. And it just seemed like maybe the system wasn't working. But when you see a guy like Tannehill, who everybody thought he was going to be a star, and it didn't work in Miami, he gets his change of scenery, takes a backup role to a guy who maybe he thought was never... Tannehill maybe thought he was never even going to... Because Mariota, he's a first pick, man,
Yeah, no one thought
you don't think you're going to get to take it over. And then when he does, like you said, man, bam, dude, making the most. And now this team looks like a team on the rise. And you get to go down to
last 4 games.
A showdown, man. This is going to be a showdown. This is a regular season / playoff game.
It's a big game. And it's been a while since I've been to a big game because we just haven't had big games in Detroit in a while.
Really?
In a while, unfortunately. So it's going to be fun to go to a game that's going to have that atmosphere, that playoff type atmosphere. Even though I'm not going to be really rooting for either team.
What are you going to do when you go watch that game?
What are you going to do?
Are you going to wear Tennessee gear?
No, I'm not going to.
Are you going to wear Lions gear? Are you
going to be that
guy? Are you going to be that guy walking around in some other team?
I don't need to deal with that ridiculous.
What the hell are you doing here, man?
Oh, I'm not in Detroit?
What? Oh, we're not. What?
Yeah, I don't need
but are you going to openly root?
No, I'm not going to root. I'm not going to root. I'm going to go watch. As a spectator.
How do you do that? How do you do that as a football fan? How do you just go and just watch a football game that you're not openly rooting for?
Just watch it.
Just go and watch it. Like you would watch it on TV.
Oh, that was a nice play. It's going to be a lot of golf claps for you. Ooh, I like that. Oh, you see the way that lineman blocked that guy? That's
how I watch most games as a coach. And
I'm the same way.
What if the game's in overtime and Tennessee hits a 50-yard bomb to win the game in overtime? The place is going nuts. You're just gonna be sitting there
are you gonna jump on the field?
That was a good play, man. This is a very nice time. I had a very nice time.
What do you want me to do?
That's what I'm asking. What do you think? I don't know. Because I watch.
Tom will pick a team, won't you?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not like that, though. I'm a lot less of a fan than you are, though.
I would invest my fandom into the home team. I think.
See,
I would openly root for the home team.
I watch our home teams more as a journalist and as a coach, that perspective, than I do as a fan. I've lost that fan fandom a long time ago. I don't have that crazy. I'm not. That's not my personality, anyways.
You don't think you're going to get swept up in that atmosphere, especially if it's a close game, like in Tennessee's, like moving the ball, and that crowd is just going nuts. Like, you don't think you get swept up in that atmosphere and start openly rooting for Tennessee?
No.
Are you going to be the guy sitting there when everybody else is, like, cheering? You're
That's what I'm saying. You're just going to be sitting there, arms folded, like...
No, he'll get up, and if
the people in front of me are getting up, I'm going to get up because I want to see what's going on. But no, I mean, I'll watch it from more of a journalistic perspective. You're not supposed to cheer in the press box.
See what a real...
I'm not in the press box, but that's how I kind of...
You're going to be surrounded by fans losing their damn minds, dude, because the game's so important. And I have a feeling that this one's going to go down to the wire, man. I think you're going to get a classic, man.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
I'm usually pretty good at picking out classics, and I think you're going to get a classic, man, because this is just a showdown, man, of divisional rivals playing with everything on the line. December football.
Well, what's crazy too is that they play 2 of the last 3 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
And so, like, this is the first of a 2-week battle, and the second week, the game in between. Tennessee plays Tampa Bay while the Texans play New Orleans. So obviously this is huge for the Texans because you got to think the Texans might need to win both of these games against both of these head-to-head matchups because there's a good chance they're going to lose to the Saints while the Titans go and beat the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
So from that perspective, I mean, it's a huge game no matter what, but from the Texans' perspective, like, they really, really need to probably win both of these head-to-head matchups. And for the Titans, you're looking at, well, this is the home matchup, so they need to get this one. So it's a huge game. It's a playoff type game for sure.
And think about the thing that I really want you to get swept up in is how this fan base has to be like, man, we started out bad. We benched our quarterback. We got this scrub Tannehill who's going to take, and then all of a sudden it's like,
playoffs.
Oh crap! Like, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
This Tannehill guy, he's pretty good too. Like, we're like, and now we are in the midst of a battle, and it's at home. It's going to be an outside stadium. I don't know how cold. I wonder.
It's be about
the weather.
It's, low to mid 50s.
So okay, great football weather. Outside December football. Oh my God, dude! It's just going to be such a matchup. It's such an atmosphere. I don't see how you're not going to get swept up in it, man. But I get what you're saying because you're not a Tennessee fan. You're not a Houston fan, so you kind of just going to enjoy good NFL football in an atmosphere that's different from what being a Lions fan, growing up in a dome.
Will you root for my fantasy players?
Yeah.
That might help them.
But I hope you had the best time, man. And I do at least just get caught up in the atmosphere, at least, and just enjoy that.
Oh, I'm going to enjoy it for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to all of a sudden walk out of there and be a Tennessee Titan
but you
fan.
Might, man. If they win a magical game in overtime, you're like, you know what, Tom? I'm done with the Lions, man. It's over. It's over. I'm a Tennessee fan now. In fact, I'm moving to Tennessee. Our house is on the market.
That's not happening.
We are moving for a football team.
Tannehill jersey.
Yeah. Oh man, I tell you, it's possible, man. I bet you it's possible.
No, it's possible for you. If it was you that was going down there, absolutely, you would get lost in it. You would be rooting for the Titans.
You probably
the whole
deal. You're right.
Yeah,
that's more Tom's life than yours.
Like Lions who?
No, you wouldn't do that.
It would last a couple weeks.
Yeah, maybe a couple weeks.
And then you realize
till the draft.
Till
the draft. And
I don't really feel anything. I don't really feel anything as a Titan fan now.
Okay, I did it with the Panthers once. I cheated once, okay? Forgive me.
The Titans won a playoff game, but it just didn't feel the same.
Yeah, the Panthers went all the way to the damn Super Bowl, and it didn't do nothing for me. Okay, I cheated once. I'm sorry. Sorry, Lions Nation. But do you blame me, really? At least I've never worn a paper bag over my head.
At least for
I've never gone to a game and worn a paper bag I did it one time. But yeah, no, I could get swept up in the atmosphere though. I could. It probably, and I tell you, if I was going down there, like, I probably would wear Titans gear, because what it is, it's fun, man. It's fun to get swept up in the home atmosphere. You know, I've done it a few times on like just trips. You know, you go to a city, go to a sports game. I like to get immersed in like the atmosphere.
Yeah,
you know.
No, you're definitely like that. For
sure. And it's fun, man. So
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
everybody's different.
I probably would. Now, if I'm home a Titans fan, I don't know. But I would root a little bit more for the Titans than I would like somebody else, maybe. But I have definitely come to grips with the fact that I'm going to die a Lions fan, and it's a dark fate, but it is what it is. Okay, we NFC. Let's go through the NFC real quick. What really excites you guys about the NFC going forward?
So many good teams.
Yes. Not in the NFC East. Do we?
No.
Can we sign? Okay, can we sign a petition as NFL fans to just not let the NFC East even have a playoff team?
That would
this
be
year
nice.
And give it to the.
I thought you were gonna say move the Lions there, but then we still wouldn't have made the playoffs.
Yeah, I know.
No, that's what I thought you were gonna say. But I'm like,
we should sign a petition and say the NFC East does not get a team in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, but after week 3, I thought the Cowboys were gonna win the Super Bowl.
Because for the Cowboys,
they do have a lot of talent, but they do need to get rid of.
That's what they're saying, man. They got what is it, 12-4 talent with the 4-12 coach.
Yeah, they definitely need to move on and hire somebody else, because they are a very talented team, and for them to be where they're at in 6 and 7. So that was my big thing.
Win. Somebody, I don't know how the math could actually work out, but it's possible that a team could win that division at 7-9. Am I correct on that? I know the division plays each other.
Play each other.
Yeah, man, it's possible.
It's possible.
It's at 7-9. Mm-hmm. Oh man, when you got somebody, the Niners, Rams, or Seahawks, one of those 3 teams won't make the playoffs.
Probably the Rams.
Probably the Rams.
Rams are 8-5. The Bears are creeping up there too. They're 7-6.
Aren't they coming back in the fold here in this hard to win NFC North?
But there's, potentially at least probably 2 teams that'll have better records that'll be out of the playoffs than the NFC East winner.
Yeah.
That will have a home playoff game.
Yeah.
Because of their division winner.
I joke, I kid about, you win your division, you get your home playoff game. That's the deal. Should the NFL structure something where that's not the case, or is that just dumb?
This is pretty rare that this happens.
Oh, God, it's got to be the rarest thing ever, really. There's been...
Every now and again
it does happen, but should the NFL restructure something, or...
No, I like the...
Or what if they went to, just conferences, the top 6 teams in the AFC and the top 6 teams in the NFC.
I don't want to do that. I'm fine. This is a rare thing that this happens.
Yeah.
The problem is when they went to 4 divisions, it made it a little bit more likely, because they used to have 3 divisions, 5 teams each. Now it's 4 divisions, 4 teams each.
Yeah.
It makes it a little bit more likely for this to happen, but it's still pretty rare that a really bad team wins a division.
We should be mad that the NFC is so bad, but they are traditionally a great division.
Yeah.
So let them have their bad year. Like the Giants got 2 Super Bowls, beat the greatest team of all time, the undefeated Patriots. They beat the Patriots twice in Super Bowls. Okay, that's the Giants. You got Philly, who's been a bunch of Super Bowls.
They won not that long ago.
Should they get a home game?
Well,
I like
if you win your okay.
Should
if you're going to stick with how
let's say
it's
a 7-9 team.
Yes.
Let's say a 79 Cowboys wins, and they play a They play 11-5 Seattle.
Yeah. Yes.
Or 12-4
the reward for winning your division is a home game. So yes. unless you're going to restructure if you're going to take divisions away.
I'm not saying you necessarily even change the seeding.
No.
The seeding's the same, but it's based on record.
No.
Who gets the home game? Because I believe that's how the NBA does it.
Because you're playing your...
A 3 seed can play a 6 seed, but that 6 seed gets the home court in the first round because they have a better record.
Or if they have the better record over winning their division?
Yeah, they're division winners, so they get that seed, but they don't necessarily get home court.
Really? No. Do they do that? No.
I've seen that. That's happened before. I don't know if they still go by that, but I've seen that happen before, where the division winner.
I think, okay. Didn't it happen in Denver or something? God, now I vaguely remember. I'm not up on my NBA, man, but God, I vaguely remember something like that happening, and I think that's wrong. Because look, like your division is your division, and you play all those teams twice, right? So if the goal, your goal one is win your division, or goal one is make the playoffs. Goal two is win your division, and then win the Super Bowl, all that, right? Unless you're going to take away divisions, if you win your division, you get a home game. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, I like that too.
Because when records come into play, that's when you get the buys. Now, you get a buy if you got a great record and you win your division, you're going to get the buy. If you win your division, but you're in a bad division, but you still get that home game. And you got to play that wild card team now. And that wild card team's probably on fire. That's a really good team, probably better than you. So yeah, Seattle. If they have a better record than Dallas or Philly, but Dallas or Philly, they're one of those teams is going to win their division. They're going to get the home game. But look, if you're the better team and it's the playoffs, go in there and beat them. Man.
No, I agree because like I said, this is an odd thing. But if you do make that change, you're going to get situations where a team wins a division, say at 10-6. It's a good team, it's a good record. You win your division, could be a tough division that you got 10-6 at and won.
That's the other thing.
And then you play a wild card team that's 11-5, and they're only one game better, but they have the better record, so that team gets the home game. No, so I agree with you. It should just be. They keep it the way it is. Should stay the way it is.
This isn't the reason for the NFC, but you just said it. What if it is a tough division and you guys kind of do beat up each other?
That's what. Yeah.
Then that's why you get your bye.
Yeah. Because that's kind of. There's a lot of that going on, man. So, who is your hottest team right now? Because we just saw a shootout. An epic shootout in New Orleans with San Francisco. Now, San Francisco just had to go to Baltimore, and then they had to go to New Orleans.
Yeah.
What a tough stretch. And they played epic football games, and they played two styles. They played the hammer down defensive battle in Boston in Baltimore in the rain, the cold rain in Baltimore, and then they had to go to New Orleans. Man, you know how hard it is to go win a football game in New Orleans?
Yeah.
And in a shootout like that, it was something else, man. And so who is is San Francisco hands down the best team in the NFC? Are they clear cut to go to the Super Bowl?
Who, the 49ers?
The 49ers.
I don't know about clear cut.
I think Seattle's a better team.
You think Seattle's better than?
Yeah, I do. I think Seattle's a better team. You ask me who the hottest team is? I think Seattle. If Seattle's already beaten San Fran.
Their defense.
Yeah, Seattle put up a dud though.
Their defense is a little shaky.
They just put up a dud against the Rams, man. And the Rams are creeping back in. I don't even know if they can even, if they get there.
I don't know. My kind of teams right now are probably, I'll give you two in each. Probably the Saints and 49ers. And then I would say the Chiefs and the Ravens.
Yeah.
That's my four as of right now.
All right.
You never know what's going to happen.
With that said, there are some hot teams in the NFC, and what I like about this, how things are shaking down right now, is that the Super Bowl is wide open. You really do. We talked about the AFC, and then in this NFC, we do have, like, Joe, like, you're right, man. There's these good teams, man, and anybody can get hot right now. Well, not obviously not anybody who's in it, man, because you got the Saints, the Rams, the Niners, the Seahawks,
Packers and Vikings.
And I know, like, we haven't even talked about our division yet, man. The North, the Packers and Vikings are two solid football teams that can come out, and the Eagles and the Cowboys. Yes, they're having tough seasons.
One of them's going to win.
One of them's going to get a home playoff game.
Yeah,
right. And they both have talent on those rosters. If things come together, it's hard to win on the road in the playoffs. So one of these teams can get hot. So I'm really excited as a football fan. I'm excited about the fact that there isn't just like two teams where it's like it's going to be Patriots Seahawks in the Super Bowl. And there's really no chance of nothing else. Like the only thing we know is that things are about to get real exciting in these next few weeks. And there's some really good football teams that are going to battle it out. And it's not going to be our Lions. I just wanted to throw that, man, because we're talking. This is the Lions edition of the Detroit Sports Sit Down. So I just wanted to. I think, aren't we obligated to just mention them every?
Tie it back.
Yeah, tie it back to. Man, I can't wait for the draft. I know, man. But all right, let's kind of bring this home, guys. All right, Dan. Other than like going to this awesome, probably epic game that you're about to watch, what are you most excited about going forward in this NFL season? Like what team, or maybe maybe what matchup, like what dream matchup would you have in the playoffs or in the Super Bowl? Like who are you really excited about right now going into the final stretch?
I think overall the NFC. I think the AFC, you kind of can pinpoint the teams that you're kind of looking at. I say the Chiefs and the Ravens. Maybe the Patriots can, if they can get it back going. But really, that you're looking at the Chiefs and the Ravens. The NFC, though, I think is so exciting going down the stretch, and then obviously into the playoffs. There's just so many big games that are going to come up. You got the Packers and Vikings battling for their division. Packers are 10-3, Vikings are 9-4. They play each other in Minnesota next week. 49ers, Seahawks. 49ers are 11-2. Seahawks are 10-3. Seahawks have already gone in San Francisco, beat them. They play each other the last week of the regular season. I was talking to Joe in her break that it could be a scenario where they play each other that last game of the regular season. It gets flexed to the Sunday night game, where you could have the loser of that game play wild card on the road in week one of the playoffs, while the winner of that game wins the division, gets a bye. So they have a bye week one, and then play a home game their second week.
Oh,
I mean, it could be a huge difference between the winner and loser of that game. So I mean, there's just tons of different scenarios that could play out over these last couple weeks, and so that's really what I'm looking for. It's just kind of how the NFC is going to shake up, and how the playoffs are going to, how the playoff seeding are going to form, because there's so many big games still remaining these last few weeks.
Yeah, Joe, what are you looking forward to?
Mainly the Lions' last two games. I'm really interested in watching them lose.
Really want to see the development of Bloughs and Scarborough.
No, I
see Patricia cannot lose the locker room.
Can they finish not having the worst defense in the league?
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
The real big storyline, see how they play out.
No, actually, I want to. You know what I want to see? I want to see the 49ers against the Ravens in the Super Bowl. That's what I'm excited about.
Is it possible that Jim Harbaugh comes on, like he leaves Michigan and comes on as an offensive coordinator for San Francisco and beats his brother in the Super Bowl?
No, because we've seen Michigan's offense.
Maybe he can come out as like a special guest referee.
A team captain for the Niners, something maybe.
He'll be in the press box cheering his brother along like normal.
That's what will happen. They'll constantly show him in the crowd.
He'll have a Ravens hat on.
Would he now? That would be something, I think, because there's got to be some type of. Last time this matchup happened, it was brother versus brother. Who's the brother? Is he rooting for his? Oh God, think about that though. Inside his heart, would he really be rooting for his brother to get a second Super Bowl?
Yeah, you're probably right.
Before he even
he beats Ohio State.
He can't even beat Ohio State, and his brother is getting a second Super Bowl. Oh, that'd be some interesting content there, man.
Yeah.
But I hear you. Sorry to sidetrack that,
but
but just to think about it though, man, from a Harbaugh perspective, man.
I just like both of those types of teams.
Yeah.
You know me, I like the running.
Dude, it was a great football game that we just saw.
On a serious note with that though, like Harbaugh really did a lot of things with Kaepernick. When Kaepernick came on the scene, using a running quarterback and this new style of offenses that we've seen, I guarantee you they've had quite a few conversations about how they're using Lamar Jackson and different plays they can utilize and different things. I'm sure they've had a lot of talks about that. Yeah. So to me that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I guarantee he's rooting for his brother. He'll be
he's got to be not. God, he's probably rooting for San Francisco to lose 59-0.
Yeah,
man. He probably hates San Francisco.
Well, he's not exactly him and Pete Carroll weren't exactly on great terms either.
Well,
I don't know if he's rooting for Seattle to overtake him either, but
I wonder what he's probably just. I don't know, man. God, that's a whole episode for us maybe next week, man. I can't
getting in the mind of Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
That's more than an episode.
No, that could be a lot of fun though. Good, Joe. What a great thing to bring up though, man. If it is Baltimore, San Francisco, that'd be a lot of stuff to talk about because it'll be the rematch. Boy, and just what Harbaugh's got to be, what Jim Harbaugh's got to be thinking about that, man. That'd be a lot of fun to talk about, and that'll just be like one of a million topics that Super Bowl week. And
headlines,
and good because we'll have we're gonna need you got 2 weeks, man. They still do because now they're doing the Pro Bowl, right? They do the Pro Bowl, and then you do this, so you got 2 weeks of trying to talk about stuff, man.
Yeah, it's always been 2 weeks. They just moved the Pro Bowl in the middle.
They moved the Pro Bowl
to try to make it a little better. Even though it's not.
No, no, it's not.
It just adds to that week.
But so that's what you want to see down the stretch.
Well,
is Baltimore and San Francisco.
Partly because I like how they play. I like that was a good game.
Yep.
I just feel like those teams.
I think so. I think so too. And if I had to call it now, we got plenty of time to do it, and so many things are going to change, man. But before here and now, or here and then, but I mean that's who I like. Baltimore. But Dan, I think you got a good point too with Seattle. I like Seattle too. It's hard to, and then man.
Talking about the AFC, I still like Kansas City.
You like Kansas City too?
When it all comes down, I like Kansas City.
Kansas City's looking good. Can Andy Reid finally get over the hump and win the Super Bowl? That'd be great to see for him.
I would like him to win. Yeah, I would like.
I'd love to see him win the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of matchups. There's going to be a lot of great games to watch.
I know.
Yeah, it's just getting good now.
About. So that's ladies and gentlemen, that's where we're at with this episode. Is we are at the point of the season where
watch every other team.
We got to start watching other teams. Now this is the point of the season too, where if you are a Lions fan, you do know where you always have that second team. I haven't really latched on to a full-blown second team yet. Have you guys latched on to a second team? Is there somebody that you're just watching that you want to win the Super Bowl?
Seattle. I put some money on them.
Yeah, so it's the money.
I decided to throw $20 on them.
All right, so man,
my second team's always been the Steelers, but that's just because that's where my family's from, and I've rooted for them since Bettis was there. That's kind of why I started to like them, was because I liked me running, big running backs, physical running backs. So. that's why I started liking Pittsburgh way back in the day.
Yeah, I've never done the really the second team thing. I'm rooting for Seattle just because I put some money on it. But I just want to see some good football. I want to see good games, good matchups.
I've done. I usually around this time have something I latch onto. It's just for fun, like just for oh man, it's kind of cool to have a team that won a playoff game. This feels cool. I don't know what it's like for my team to win a playoff game. Well, I guess I did when I was, back in '90, back in my day. What was it? 91
yeah.
I think. Yeah.
91 season. I think it was January of '92.
Yeah, when we beat the Cowboys. Yeah, God, those
were the days, man. Yeah. Remember them well.
Yeah. I haven't picked one yet, man, but there are some that I like. I like Kansas. I'm really liking Baltimore, though, man. I just love the way their defense. I love the way the offense is just tough. I really like Lamar Jackson, man. Mark Ingram's from Flint, and he's kind of on his second win in his career. New Orleans, they kind of let him go, and once a running back kind of gets let go from his main team that he's kind of got worn and torn from, you don't really see a lot, and he's looking like the man right now, so I like that story. I do like that he's homegrown, even though he went to Bama, but so I don't know, man. It's hard, man. It's hard for me to pick one this year, but I think it is Baltimore, man. I think I'm kind of rolling with Baltimore this year. If I got to pick one, man, but there's a lot of good football to be played, and ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna talk about it, man. We're gonna keep we'll keep giving you your Lions talk because that's what we do. We are Lions addicts, no matter what. But we're gonna talk NFL too because we're gonna talk Lions and we're gonna talk
about real teams, real professional football teams
going forward here.
They're completely separate.
Yeah, two completely different topics. But we're gonna talk Lions and we're gonna talk NFL every week going forward because it's about to get real, ladies and gentlemen. If you didn't already see it going down, it's going down because things are about to get real fun, man. It's December. And there is a lot to look forward to, a lot of good games, a lot of great storylines. And then we'll also talk about, the Lions. So stay tuned with us. For Dan Murphy and Joe Perry, my name is Tom Murphy Jr., and this is the Detroit Sports Sit Down. Peace.